Superman, I believe, is the single greatest superhero character maybe ever created. It certainly inspired the entire genre and has lived in the hearts and minds of people for years. I remember watching Superman Returns when I was a teenager. It was myself, my father, and my grandfather all together. This massive lineage of people who have been inspired by Superman. And this is one of my favorite stories here. This is the Superman annual for 1985. Why is it that all the best comic books came out in the 80s? Berserk, Watchmen, The Hard Goodbye, you get it. Dave Gibbons and Alan Moore give us this tremendous story called For the Man Who Has Everything. It's Superman's birthday, and Batman, Robin, and Wonder Woman are coming to the Fortress of Solitude to give him gifts, and it turns out somebody else has beaten them to the punch. Something that could stop the man who has everything. Now that title is brilliant because it not only shows that Superman is somebody who it's impossible to give a gift to, as they show in the end, but also that what do you give the man who does have everything like Superman? And what he wishes for is the world that he didn't get to grow up in. Krypton, if it had actually stayed intact and he got to grow up under Jor-El's care. And what that flower does, it lives on his chest, is it grants him that wish in his mind. So he's living in this fantasy world as if Krypton had really happened and it hadn't fallen apart. And yet that world has crumbled and troubled, and Jor-El became an activist and a revolutionary. It's quite an interesting story. And then it swaps to Batman and what would be his idealized world. Then it finally goes to the enemy in this story here, Mongol, who's this super-powered character who gave Superman this gift and plans to take over Earth. And it's interesting because in Batman's a magical world, his parents didn't die. That's what he wishes for. But in Mongol's world, what he wishes for is that everyone is enslaved to him and he's the master of the universe. It's a fascinating story because it's the one thing that stops Superman is that he wishes for Krypton. And that's the one thing even the Man of Steel, even the man who's the strongest in the universe can do anything. That's the one he cannot do, and that's one thing he wishes for. And that even with all his power, it stops him cold, the thought and dream of what that could have been. It's got this beautiful moment here at the end where Wonder Woman gives him this replica of Kandor, the city that was in the bottle, a city you could only see with microscopic vision. And what's hilarious is Superman, in all of his speed, runs back, hides the other one that he has that maybe someone else gave him, and swaps it for the one she gave him, not to disappoint her. The magic of Superman is he's concerned about Wonder Woman's feelings when she gave him a gift. The man who has everything still is concerned about his friend's feelings. Love Superman, love Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons.